Okay, fine. In today's class, let us write another program, couple of programs. C program to calculate and display sum of n natural numbers. Okay. I assume that you know what are natural numbers. What are natural numbers? Can anyone answer? It starts from 1. Next, after 1? 1 to infinite, right? So here, what do we mean by this one then? Sum of n natural number means sum of n natural number means
initial value will be 1.
Initial value will be 1. Okay. Then what else? Final value?
-1 divided by.
Final value will be what? What the user enters. Suppose user enters n value as 100. Then from 1 to 100, we need to add all those numbers and then display the sum. If user enters 10, from 1 to 10, we need to count all the numbers and then do the add all the numbers and then display the sum. Right? Okay. Now in this program, we are going to make use of do while loop. We can do it using the while loop as well as do while loop. Okay, let us take it as per the do while loop concept. Okay, fine. Now, variables. How many number of variables we require? Think here. How many number of variables are required? 2. So obviously the data type here will be integer because we are going to work on the natural numbers, right? Okay. We need one variable for the user input, that is the n, right? So we need an n. Then, since it is a looping, we need a counter, right? In this case, I will use the counter as I, right? Then, what else we require? Sum also we require, right? We need to calculate the sum and then store that variable, all those values into one particular variable and the sum, right? These are the variables we require. Then what about the initial values? Can we give any initial value to the n? We cannot give because we need to read it from the user, correct? Then what about I and sum? What about I and sum? I is for what purpose?
I is equal to 1.
Sure. So our counter, that is natural number, will begin at what number? 1. So I will be equal to 1. Yes? Okay. So at the beginning, sum is what? What value will be carrying the sum? 0.
Sum is equal to I.
Before we start counting the natural number, sum will be obviously 0, right? So we can initialize our sum also to 0, right? Understood why we have taken I equal to 1 and sum equal to 0. This I is what purpose? This is for the counter. This is for the counter, and we know natural numbers will begin at the 1. So initial number we have taken, right? And then we have the sum. Initially sum will be 0. Now, what we need to do? We need to calculate the sum of all those numbers starting from 1 up to the n. So we need to now read the value of n here, right? So display a statement, write a statement to display, right? Print f, enter a number. Okay, then next, what we need to write? Scanf. Okay, then percentage, double quotes, right? Double quotes and then percentage D. Then don't write it down, students. Don't write it down now only. Okay. Answer to the now what else we need to write?
Comma.
Quote complete. Next, comma. Ampersand n.
Ampersand n. Stores the value in the n.
We need to read that value from the keyboard and store into that particular location where that n variable is there. We have studied some concept, right? The memory location, each variable will be having a memory location, and in that particular memory location, we need to store that particular number what we enter. In order to get that memory location, we need one particular special operator called as address of operator, that is ampersand and. Okay, so that's why we are writing ampersand and. Okay, then so after this, what we need to do? Initialization is done for I as well as the sum. Then we need to go for the looping statements, right? So in this one looping statement, what are we using? Do while. So the syntax is what? Initially, what you do is that you need to take care about the syntax, right? This is a do while loop.
Do.
We need to first write do. After that, I know that there is a open bracket, that is body we need to write, and then corresponding close bracket. Since it is a do while, I need to type the while also, and within this while, I need to write the condition, okay, and then semicolon. Correct? So if you write in this particular format in the initial stages, you will not make any mistake in the syntax. Okay, now here what I need to do, I need to fill in this particular body of the do while. So here we need to write the statements corresponding where it is going to calculate the sum. Okay, and then the condition. Okay, now who can tell me what will be the statements we need to do here? Obviously, we know one statement we are going to write for the increment of the counter, right? That will be our last statement. So here in the last statement, I will write I plus plus. This is there. Now, before this one, what we need to do? We need to calculate.
Sir, we can write, sir, sum equal
How I
to
will
sum
calculate
plus
the
I.
sum?
Sum equal to sum plus I.
Sum is equals to sum plus I.
Plus I.
Now, initial value of sum is what? 0. Okay. Now, what is the counter value as of now? 1. So, 1 I need to add into sum for the first time. Okay. Then, next time what I have to do? I have to increment I. So, I will become what? 2. Right? Once the I becomes 2, that 2 also I have to add into what? Some variable. So some variable at every iteration or every loop, I need to modify this one, right? So my statement will become sum plus 1 sum plus I need to do, right? This value I am going to reassign it to the sum itself. So my sum is equals to sum plus I. Okay. Now again here you have to understand this particular statement, how it operates. How many operators are there? 2 operators. What are those? Assignment operator and arithmetic operator. Among these 2, which one gets executed first? Arithmetic operator. So I will be performed, and whatever value it gets, that value will get updated to the on the left hand side variable sum. Okay. Now, so I have written those 2 statements which will be repeatedly executed. How long? How many times those statements are going to be executed? Based upon what user enters as the n value, right? Suppose if I enter the 10 as the n value, then the loop means those 2 statements are going to be repeatedly executed for how many times? 10 times, right? Then I need to write the condition inside the while here, right? What will be the condition now?
I smaller than or equal to n.
I less than or equals to
or equal n.
N, because we need to take up to n value. So here condition will be I less than or equals to n. Correct? Suppose if the n value is 5, what is going to happen? How many times this particular loop will be executing? 5 times. Correct? Okay. Then, so here we have calculated the sum. Next, we need to print the value of the sum here. Printf. Okay, then let us display a message. Sum of, I want to display sum of, say if I enter 5, sum of 5 natural numbers. If I enter 10, sum of 10 natural numbers. Then how I need statement here?
Percentage D.
N. Should I mention N here?
Sum of, no sir, percentage D.
We need to write the percentage D, right? Because
yes, sir.
N is a variable. If I write something like this, say sum of n natural numbers. Okay, if I write this equals to mention right? Then sum. What is going to happen? All these statements, all these characters are what? These are the constants. It is going to display as sum of n natural number equal to sum only. But what we need here, this n is what? It is an variable. This sum is what? Sum is also a variable, right? And these two variables are of the data type integer. So this one I will substitute as %d, and here I will substitute again it as %d. Okay. Then now I need to write the variables, corresponding variables. In this pair of double quotes, I have first %d, right? So here I need to substitute this with an variable. What is that variable? N, isn't it? So after comma, first will be n. Okay, then comma. Then I have second %d here. This %d belongs to what? What we need to write here? Sum, right? So the second variable will be sum. And then double quote, the closing bracket complete and the semicolon. Now how this statement will be executed? Printf, here within the double quote I have written this content. What compiler will try to do? Sum of %d it encounters. %d means, okay, there is after double quote and comma, there are some variables. Among that, the first variable's value, here it is n. This value have to be submitted or substituted at this place. If I enter n as 5, so it will take %d as 5 here. Okay, then natural numbers equals to will get printed, and then what we have again one more %d. This is the second occurrence. Second occurrence means in this particular list of variables, the second variable is what? Sum. So this sum value will get substituted at this place, and the corresponding values will be printed. Okay, let us run the program and check how it works. It is ending here. Okay, fine. Yes, let us run the program and check for any errors. Program number is 27 in this case. Okay, no errors. So let's run the program. Second. Okay, enter a number. Let us say 5. Now, what is the output? Sum of 5 natural numbers is equals to 15. Now, are you getting that 5 and 15 from where those two numbers are getting displayed? From the variables, right? Is that sum is equals to 15 is correct? Add all the natural numbers from 1 to 5. Is it 15? Let us program once again and check. Suppose if I enter 10, what should be the value for 10? Add it. Online students, try to add the natural numbers from 1 to 10. How much you get? 47. 47. Okay. Any other answers? 50. 55.
49.
50. 50. Half century. Half century? Exact half century?
30.
Okay. 47, 50. And any other answers from online students?
55. 55.
55.
50, 30. 30, sir.
55.
55.
Okay. Now, those who are given the other answers, try to recalculate once again and check whether you get 55 or not. Okay. Understood this program? See, look at the program code. It's very simple, right? Initially, we have initialized two variables, I equals to 1 and sum equals to 0. Why I equal to 1? Because we need to start the looping from first iteration up to the n times. Then sum, initially sum value is what? 0. Okay. Then I need to run through a for loop, that is do while loop. How many times? Until this I becomes n. Once I becomes n, that time I will calculate. Once I becomes greater than 10, then I have to stop it. Okay, then within this body of the do while loop, I'm just first calculating the sum. So sum is equals to sum plus I, and then I plus plus. Okay, now let us try to trace the program and then check our understandings. Let me open an Excel sheet here. Okay, students, what you can do, you can in a notebook try to write a table, draw table with different columns. Yes. Yes, Nikhil, what you messaged is correct. We will just discuss that also. Okay. In one of the operators, we have studied something called as an shorthand notations. Do you have notes with you? Have you written those notes? Quickly turn back the pages and check what we mean by shorthand notations. Different types of operators are there, isn't it? Right? Do you find anything like a shorthand notations? Okay, I will give you a hint where you need to check among those operators. Assignment operator, right? In that assignment operator, there is one subtopic or a subheadline. What is that? Shorthand notation. So shorthand notation, what is the example given? Can anyone read? Yes.
Variable operator is equal to value.
Yes. Suppose if you have some expression as a equal to a plus some number or a equal to a minus some number. Left hand side is the same variable and the right hand side you are using the same variable and trying to perform an arithmetic operation. Then such expressions can be shortened. The way how we write can be shortened. How it can be done? Now look at here, the line number 16. What we have? Sum equal to sum plus I, right? Left hand side is what? Of the assignment operator is the variable sum. And on the right hand side of the assignment operator, we have the same variable, right? This particular expression can be shortenized. It can be reduced. How? Sum plus equals to I. Sum plus equals to I. How to read this statement? Sum is equals to sum plus I. This can be only used when the assignment operator LHS and the RHS have same variable. Okay. And we are trying to perform certain arithmetic operations. Okay. So these both statements are equivalent. This is the regular expression and this is the shorthand expression of the above. Okay, now onwards you need to remember these things. Whenever such statements are coming up, you need to tell me that, sir, we can shortenize this one and we can write something like this. Followed? Okay, let me comment this line as of now. Let us use the shorthand notation. Okay, now let's go to the Excel and try to trace this particular program. Okay, now. So we have different variables here. Let us write down the values of each of the variables. I have a n. So n value is what? Suppose in this example, let me take it as a 5. Okay. Let me put the content in the center. That would be easy. Increase the size. 14. Alignment. Center. Okay. Now. N value is 5. Then what else we have? I. Initial value of I is what? 1. Initial value of sum is what? 0. Right? 0. Name of the variables, and these are the values where we are. What are these values? We are storing into those particular variables. Okay. Then line number 14 onwards, we need to write in a tabular format. Do is there. So that is a statement we need to write over there. Next statement is sum plus equals to I, right? So here I will write a statement, sum plus equals to I. So what this particular statement means, sum is equals to sum plus I. Then I plus plus, I plus plus. After that, we have a while condition. While I less than equal to n, I less than or equal to 1, n, right? And then after this iteration, these statements are going to be executed repeatedly. Once this condition becomes false, here, if the condition becomes false, it will not repeat those statements and it will come out of the do while. Okay, now let us try to do this valuation. First round, sum equals to sum plus I. So what is the initial value of sum? 0. So 0 plus 1, 1 will get stored where? Sum, right? Sum will become 1 now. So you can, here also I can make a modification of this. Now sum becomes 1. Then next, I plus plus. So it is going to be 1 plus plus, right? Next time when I use, let me write it as a 1 plus plus. Next time when I use this I should be considered as what? 2, right? So this, in this particular while condition, while I, what is the I value?
1. So I said 2.
Previously it was 1. See, at this instant here, 1 plus plus, right? So next time I use 1, that is I have to be incremented, right? So next time means what? This is the statement where I'm using 1. So I will become what? Plus 1. That is 1 plus 1 is 2. So is this 2 less than or equals to n? N is 5. Is it true or false? It is. Since the condition is true, what has to be done? It is a do while loop. It is a do while loop. The while condition is true. Then what is the flow of execution? I should come back and execute all the statements inside the do while, right? Means I should again come at this stage and then execute, right? So here I will become 2 next time here. Okay. Now sum equals to sum plus I. So what is the value of sum now?
1.
So 1 plus I. What is I value? 2. 1 plus 2. 3. So sum becomes 3. Simultaneously, let me update over here. Okay. Then I plus plus, that is 2 plus plus. Next time when I use I, means here I'm going to use the I. So what will be the value of I? 3, right? So update I over here as 3. Now, is this 3 less than or equal to 5? Is it true or false? True. True means what has to be done? Where should the control goes back to? Do while loop. Means these statements, it says do all these statements. So the first statement here, sum equals to sum plus I. So what is the value of sum now? 3. 3 plus I. I is what? 3. I is 3. 3 plus 3? 6. So sum becomes 6. So let me update sum here also, as sum is now 6. Okay. Then next, 3 plus plus. 3 plus plus. So next time when I use I will be what? 4. So here I will modify as 4 now. Okay. Now here, 4 less than or equal to 5. It is again true. True means again I have to execute the do while statements. So what will be the value of sum?
6.
6.
6 plus I. I is what? 4. 6 plus 4? 10. It becomes 10. So the sum over here, I will update it as 10 here. Okay. Then next I plus plus, that is 4 plus plus. Next time when I use 4 will be incremented to 5. I value will now become 5 for the next time. That is here. So 5 less than or equal to 5. It is true.
Yes.
True means again repeat the same steps. So again calculate the sum value. So what will be sum now?
15.
Sum is
15.
10 plus I. I is 5. 10 plus 5, 15. So sum will become 15 and here let's put it as 15. Then next is I plus plus, that is 5 plus plus. Next time when I use I, it has to be incremented, right?
6.
I becomes 6. So here 6 than or equals to 5.
False.
It is false. Now look at the while condition here. It becomes false. False means what has to be done? Should it again go back and execute all the statements inside the do while? No, it has to
No, sir, it goes to printf.
do while. Means from line number 19, it will now control will go to the line number 21. It comes out of the do while and it will display the sum value. So what is the latest value of sum now?
15.
15. So isn't
15.
the sum of natural numbers, that is 1 to 5, is it 15? Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now you can write this program. Or you need not to, if you understood, need not to, I will give the notes, another document, I will give the notes, I will cover up this particular program also. Okay? Fine. Okay. Now let us try to make it interesting. Like the program here is says sum of numbers, sum of natural numbers. Let us try to modify this program such a way that calculate and display sum of n even numbers, even natural numbers. Right? So now how we have modified the program statement? We need to calculate the sum of natural numbers, but those natural numbers should be only even. If it is a even, then only you add it, otherwise exclude it. Right? Suppose in this case, if 1 to 5, if the n number I enter it to be 5, what will be the sum of even numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the first 5 natural numbers, right? Among these 5 numbers, we need to only add the even numbers. So what are the even numbers between 1 to 5? 2 and 4. So answer should be 6. Tell me where I need to do a modification here. In the do while, correct? So what is the change? The calculation of the sum is something where I need to make the modification, right? This particular line. If you think here, if you just observe here, every number or every iteration, we are adding those, right? The sum. But here I need to restrict. If that counter variable, that is I, if it is even, then you add it. If it is not, then do not add it. Correct? If the counter variable I, right? Every time I repeat through this particular do while loop by observing the I value, right? If I is even, then add it into the sum. Otherwise, do not add it. Understood? It's like, what is the control I need to put up here? If, what is even? Which variable I have to check for the even? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, suppose if I enter n to be 5, then natural numbers are between 1 to 5 are what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I will check the first time. First time I value is what? 1. Should I add this as a sum into the sum? No. How I will come to know, how this particular program will come to know whether this 1 is even or odd?
Sir, we can do that.
We need to use a particular operation like I mod 2. If result is 0, it is even. If the result is 1, it is odd. Right? Then, before this particular sum, I need to write a statement like control statement if I mod 2. If it is equals to 0, if it is equals to 0, that means what? Is it a even number or odd number? If it is even number, what I have to do? Add, right? That is equals to sum plus I will do. If it is not, if this particular condition is false, should I add it? No. What I should go for the next number. Next number means I plus plus. Whether it is an even or an odd number, I have to go for the next number. But if it is an even, then I have to calculate the sum. Okay. Now, here let me make a modification to the printf. Sum of n even natural numbers. Okay. Now, if I run the program this time, let us see what will be the answer.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Doesn't it need a else statement?
Else statement. Here it is not necessary to have a else statement because else, if it is a false, I need to do something. Here I no need to do something when the condition is false. I will just exclude it. I will not do anything. I will just exclude it.
Yes.
Correct?
Thank you.
If the condition
Sir, without
is true,
using if also you can write, sir.
What happened?
Sir, I have done as initial, I have taken I is equal to 0, sir. And in the increment, I have taken as I plus 2. I have not used any if statement.
Okay.
I have not used any if statement, sir.
Okay.
I have taken I is equal to 0 initially.
Yes, yes. I understood what you have done here. Okay. Now, is this particular program understood?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
What your friend is telling that here I equal to 1, he is telling that he has taken I as 0. Initial value of I is 0. Okay. Then he is telling that this if he is not using. Okay. There is no if like this. Sum is there. Okay. But I instead of I plus plus, what he has done, I equal to I plus 2. Isn't it? So initial value of I is what?
Yes, sir.
0. Next time I becomes what?
2.
In the next becomes 4. In the next iteration I becomes 6.
6.
Right? So here only considering the counter, we are not incrementing it by 1, but we are incrementing it by 2. Correct? But now I will tell you the advantage of writing the program this way, the one which I have written here. The advantage of this, right? Advantage is that now write a program to calculate and display sum of n even natural numbers and odd natural numbers. I need to do the sum for even as well as odd, right? Now, how I can modify this one here? I need to take one.
You will take an else statement, sir.
This is for even sum. E sum is for even sum. And one more variable I will take. O, that is O sum for odd sum. Right? Similarly, I will update here E sum equals to 0 and O sum equals to 0. Right? Initially, both the variables, even sum and odd sum, I am updating it to be 0. Right? In this if condition, if it is true, it is what? Even sum. If it is true, if it is an even sum. If it is false, it is odd sum, right? That is O equals to O sum plus I. Correct? So I can display one more statement here, like sum of n even natural numbers is this way, that is E sum. And then in the second line, sum of odd natural numbers is O sum. together. Okay. Now, in this case, if I run the program, compile, no errors. Let me clear the screen. 5. Okay, I need to add the /n. Let us add that /n here. I just missed it to add /n and one more /n here. Okay, then compile once again, clear, run the program and enter 5. Is it correct? Okay, online students, do enter your attendance. Okay, now what we have done here, in single program, we could able to calculate sum of even natural numbers as well as sum of odd natural numbers. Okay, now you just need to think here. The original program was what? We started writing a program for calculating the sum of n natural numbers, right? Then we wrote 2 more programs, like sum of only even natural numbers, then to give even as well as odd numbers. The program logic remains same. That is, in the do while statements remain same almost, but here and there only one particular logic. We just added one more control, that if that particular number is a odd, then calculate it to be a odd sum. If the number is an even number, then calculate it to be a even sum. Yes, if this particular program is not understood, this one, that is even as well as odd sum, do let me know. In the next class we can just